So, Ted Corbin was going to speak a bit on downtown development here in Springfield. Has prepared something about 5 minutes, and then we'll get right into the 10 square. I don't really know what to call it yet, the 10 square thing.
Thanks. So I contacted Paul and Kurt and Don a little earlier in the week. I've been involved with downtown Springfield on the Historic Commission. I served for about 8 years. Last 2.5 years I've been on the Citizen Action Committee for the Downtown Urban Renewal Package that was passed in 2008. And I'm also, over the last couple of months, joined the board over at Netco. Netco is starting a merchants group as well that's interested in downtown. So over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, I've been involved in a lot of the ruminations that the city has been going through with their downtown. About 2 years ago, they had hired Rambula out of Portland to do a new planning study for downtown, and everyone hears that and think, well, it's just another planning study. This is what they've come up with, and Springfield's taking it very seriously. They invested a lot of money in the study. They did as much outreach, I think, as they thought they could, but I had an inkling that they hadn't reached the AI. So I asked them if I could show you just a couple of slides from their document. The first thing that they're going to try to do is to get a plaza built downtown. The second thing they're going to try to do is turn Main Street into a two-way street. Simultaneously, they want to take all of the ODOT traffic off of Main Street and put it down onto South Bay. And then ultimately what they want to do is leverage that infrastructure to get private investment going. So they've initiated a parking study and a parking program. They're going to restripe most of the parking downtown. They're going to put up new time limits to get better car overturn downtown. And the darker brown buildings here are envisioned as the new buildings downtown. This is a 20-year plan. Where do I point? Oh. I don't need a pointer. Next slide. Here's the river. Here's the couplet. Two-way traffic there. South Bay becomes significantly larger. Obviously a huge scale change for the city. Crandall Rambula, who I thought did very, very good work and were very honest with the city, had said in the RFP process that by the time their document was done, there'd be a developer that would be on board ready to do the first project. Well, in the last 2 years, that hasn't happened. And it's no mystery as to why that hasn't happened. The city doesn't feel stuck, but that's still the goal, to have a developer come in and do one of these buildings first. Next slide. Springfield has been very lucky in the last 5 years with these 5 projects that have come into their downtown. Now, many of these are publicly backed projects, so it's not exactly what they're looking for the next 20 years, but it's the exact sort of infill that Crandall Rambula built their document around. Next slide. So, Crandall Rambula has told the city that these are the catalyst projects that have to take place. These are the amount of dollars that have to get committed to these projects. And on some level, these are the sequences that the projects have to go be executed. The city's been told to get options on the dirt for the Mill Plaza area. Once they've got those options, they can start recruiting developers to do the projects that will front the Mill Plaza. And that's going to start the ball rolling. Last slide. So this was done by, I forget the name of the firm, but an architectural firm out of Portland. Rendering, and quite honestly, this rendering didn't go over very well with the citizens that I'm on the committee with. The scale just blew them up. They couldn't get past it. Crandall Rambula, I think, won on this one. And I think this is the vision that the city is committed to. When I look at these drawings, I think of which property is owned by whom and which property is owned by whom and the building that's there. What I told committee, I wanted you to do is to do the same thing. So I think we need to keep our ears open. I think opportunities are going to start to come up. John Samuelonis is telling me they're getting more interest in doing something in downtown Springfield than they have in the last 10 years. And this momentum seems to be building. It may end up being a plan that sits on the shelf, like all the other plans had. But right now, there's a lot of energy. That's all I've got.